Okay, I'm going to do an unboxing, the magic unboxing of the Lee woudl 2. Hey, what's that? It's open. No, actually I just kind of already opened the staples. That way I don't go fumble with the staples like an idiot for 10 minutes. Yes, the staples confuse me a lot. It's the Lee woudl 2. If you can still get the Lee woudl, that's great. If you can get it new. The big difference between the Lee woudl and the woudl 2 is the base. The base is plastic on the 2, and the original base was, I think, cast aluminum or cast something cheap. So why did I get this? I got it because it's insanely affordable. Every review you see on it, if somebody is even close by in the forums with a mech, like a mech 600 or something like that, they'll gripe that the thing's a total piece of garbage. But the people who have it say great things. So, here's what's inside. Okay, so it's not coming out that easy. Okay, box is empty. I got grease on my hands now, so that means something in here is greasy. Interestingly, they've changed the color of the base. All the pictures I saw had it as a red base, they've gone to black. Which is funny, because you know everybody's obsessed with the colors. Blue for Dylan, Rock Chucker's what, green, I think. Hornady's that brighter red, and Lee is the dark red. Mech, I think, is also red. I'm not sure though. So, here's what we're looking at. These are the powder holders. Well, shot holder, powder holder, cover. This cover. Oh, look at that. It will fit on there. Cool. So you can just put the cover plain on there, or you can put it on with all this junk. Alright, here's the junk. This is the resizing. So, station 1, which I guess would be over here, you're going to resize, and then station 2, it's going to force this thing back off, and then you'll take it off. What else? This is the spare thing that places the blah 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 blah. What? The thing that places the wad. What the other stuff is, I have no clue as of yet. Well, I can tell you what this is. Oh, look at that magic! Kind of lovely. Once this thing's bolted down, you will not be able to easily turn it over to get it all the primers. When you deprime at this station, you're going to deprime and I guess resize at the same station. When it deprimes, the primer just falls underneath. So if you look at it from the back, there's no way to get back in there. So Lee has put this cute little door on here. I'm guessing most people leave the door off and just swish the primers out every now and again. So that's number 1. Back over here. These screws and these, I'm guessing, are to hold it down to something. Like a workbench. Only 2 to hold the whole thing down? Yeah, I guess so. This, I'm not sure what it is yet. And this, not sure what it is yet. And this, absolutely no idea what it is yet. These are all the little holders for different amounts of powder. This is one of the reasons I chose this. Left to my own, I would have debated between the Lee and the mech. The mech's significantly more, but people just rave about it. But every time you do something different on the mech, you're going to have to get some different stuff. So the price adds up a little bit. I do not shoot that much, so There's no compelling reason at this point, for me anyway, to go crazy. I'm not going to be reloading that much. I'll probably be reloading maybe 100. A high would be 200 rounds a week. And even the 100's probably high. So these are all the little different powder holders and shot holders. And where do they go? Well, they go behind here. So in order to change anything, you would, let me get a screwdriver out. I'm going to take these off. And let's see if I can find a size that works. Bingo. So if we take these off, there's one. And there's two. This one does 12 gauge. So this is all set up to do 12 gauge. Can you change it out? Yes. But for $50-something, shipping included, from Amazon, I would, if it were me, I'd probably just get a different one for that gauge. Ta-da! Lee has a problem, at least from the reviews that I've read, and the problem is that gradually powder leaks from here as this slowly works its way back and forth. A little bit of powder. It feels pretty tight to me right now, but they say powder leaks from here, and gradually, even with this on there, powder leaks out of there and gradually works your way down to here. I don't know. I haven't seen that yet. You have this. This one's for the powder. This one's for the shot. You want to change it. Ta-da! Now it's different. I don't know if this will fit in both sides. Ah, genius. It will not. Cool. So, different ones for shot and smaller different ones for powder. And they're labeled. This one is labeled 155. Not sure what that actually translates to for grains. So, you put in there whatever size you want to throw. Put this back in there. Did I put it in the right setup? Yep. Put this back on there. And then throw the little screws in. Oh my gosh, they're just little dopey self-tapping screws and they're going into plastic. That's probably only going to last 5 minutes. According to what other people have said, it seems to last okay. So, this is some of the stuff that comes with it. Instructions. We got the door back in its little magic spot. Now, going over some of the stuff that's here. This makes Lee pretty intelligent and nice to get used. This one's new. However, why I point this out. The cover holds all of the little bushings. That goes up there. As a result, when you buy them used, they tend to have all their parts because there's a place to put them. Home run. Smart. Gotta give Lee credit. These pieces, I'll show you what goes on with these. That's a little springy setup, and it's going to go right in there. Who's that do? That's going to be for priming. Going to place a primer in there, and then bring this down to prime. In the picture, there's something else, though. Yeah, there's this thing. That's Lee's priming system. So, let's be fair. One thing when we talk about Lee, every review, well, maybe there's one or two Lee fanatics who won't say anything about it, but just about every Lee review you see about most any Lee loader comments that their priming system sucks. It's the big weakness of Lee. If you read Lee's reloading book, he says there's a reason for this. He does not like tube-fed primers. He feels they're a big explosion hazard. You can kind of make an argument that, yeah, maybe they are. Loading a bunch of primers up one on top of the other, that could go way wrong. And once it starts to go wrong, it just keeps on going right up the tube going wrong. So it's probably not the best idea to put them all in a tube. How do we know everybody else thinks it's not such a good idea? They've started selling these explosion shields to put on reloaders. I don't got high hopes for hiding behind that if the primers go off. It spooks me when one primer goes off. If you're doing hand loading with the hammer thing, I've heard a primer go off. The noise spooked me. So having a whole tube of them go off, I can imagine it's pretty scary. The way to avoid it is Lee's primer feeder. It keeps them all flat in a tray. The only thing is, this thing apparently works miserably not good. So what winds up happening is you constantly have to, it mounts right here, and you have to keep jiggling it. And a lot of the reviews of people who already had this said, don't even waste your time buying it. It's only about $12, $15, so it wouldn't be big money spent, but they maintain it's easy to just throw primers in there. If you're reloading 300, 400, 500 shells, I would think you're going to lose your mind putting primers into this little slot. And you may then say, it's worth taking a chance on going with tube-fed primers. But for me, the safety wasn't concerned as much as just having something simple that worked. So I'll be hand feeding primers into there. I do not have a shell here to demonstrate the whole process, but this gives you an overview at least of how it goes. Good news, any demonstration you see of these, they usually make this noise. They don't do that anymore, so they fixed whatever they had to fix there. It's very smooth. I showed you these two things already. I'm not sure what this is for yet. I imagine I'll find out eventually. And these two are to hold it down. If I had a shell, I would show you start up station 1 with this on the shell. It's going to do two things, size and deprime. You'll move on to station 2 with this now kind of stuck on the shell. When you go to station 2, it's going to prime and it's going to knock this thing off. Put it down then. You move on to station 3. You're going to bring it down, swoosh it over to powder. It's going to drop charge into there. You're going to lift it up, put a wad into it, bring it down, switch it over to shot, drop a load of shot, and actually it's vice versa when I slide. It's going to slide this way for shot and this way for powder. Bring it back up again. You've now got a casing that's got powder, wad, and shot in it. Move it over to station 4. You notice there's two station 4s. One of them is going to put a 6-point crimp. One of them is going to put an 8-point crimp. Since I haven't used it that much yet, I forget which one is which. I think the 8 points up front. 8-point crimp up front, 6-point crimp in the back. I'm told you have to leave it with a fold facing towards the front. That's a little bit of an annoyance. You don't have to do it on a mech, but again, you're paying a lot more for a mech. Last station. So you're starting your crimp here, and you're finishing your crimp here. They say the Lees, a lot of it is getting used to the feel of the machine. I'll do a review once I actually have some shells to screw around with, which will probably be in a week or two. Thanks for watching. Leave some comments, subscribe, do whatever magic we do on YouTube. If nothing else, ask questions. I'll try and give you an honest opinion. Thanks.